I invite you to join me, to participate in this inquiry into the miracle of our souls, to become part of the psychic connection.
One love, y'all. Welcome to the feedback loop. I'm Naeem. Wanted to make a video today going over a session I did back on August 3rd and 4th. This was a target set up by Nikotar. He runs the remote viewing Discord and the remote viewing Reddit. So shout out to Nikotar. So, many people took part in this session on the remote viewing Discord. So I was just another one of them. And so I just wanted to go over some of the results I got. And this is a session I've already posted before, but I didn't post my paper session that I did prior to that video session. So I wanted to go over some of that quickly and tie it in with the video results. So here we go. The target was Iguazu Falls, and this is on the border of Argentina and Brazil. Some pictures of it here. Here's a view of it. I'm gonna play a little video footage here so you can get a sense of what we're dealing with here.
Iguazu Falls, on the border of Brazil and Argentina, is one of the widest waterfalls in the world, 1.5 miles across. In flood, 13 million litres of water spill over every second.
Okay, I think you get the point. So this is actually like hundreds of waterfalls all in one area. It's one of the widest in the world. There's a valley gorge. There's a valley that it runs off into down the way. And there's some structure walkways that run around for people to come and watch, and it's like a tourist attraction. So I'll be getting into that too. So I want to switch over to my Google Earth and session view here. I got my little face up in the corner trying this out. So I have Google Maps, Google Earth here centered over South America. So we're just going to go into the falls area here and get a closer look. So here's the falls. The water kind of spills from this area up here down into this gorge, and you can see it goes down for quite some distance. Zoom out a little bit so you can see. Yeah, so it starts right here, right around here. So I just want to go over to my session here on the right side. This is my paper session. So this was before the video session that I posted, and the link will be in the description for that video session. So here are my visual ideograms. Already getting a sense of kind of like the ledge of something with vertical lines trailing down the side. Going on to the ideograms. Ideograms are important. Ideograms are the foundation of the session. So you can see here my very first ideogram, probing it, I get natural and wet. So that's right on target for what we'd expect looking at a target of this kind, right? Going down to data collection. This is where I'm taking rapid visuals and getting associated sounds, smells, tastes, temperatures, and textures to those visuals. You can see here I have colors of green, brown, white, yellow, and tan. and I'm getting a strong sense of these vertical lines with a kind of like a pooling near the bottom, and I get a sense of gaseous particulate mist, hot and warm temperatures, stone, land, wet and bumpy, muffled hiss, a wet surface. And you can see here on the fourth column, the fourth row near the end, on the far right texture column, I have a parallel thing, and I said there's a structure. Is there a structure? Something hard there, popping, crackling, and ripples on the surface. I wrote. Coming down a little further, I'll bring up an image here so you guys can see. This is my second data collection matrix, and once again I'm getting more visuals of these downward lines hissing. I got a sense of vines, something viney, like vegetation. I got a sense of this parallel linear structure again, something structural. I get the sound of creaking and stress, like when you put weight on a structure, like it's like vibrating under the weight. So yeah, picking up on a structure again, wet surface. I get a sense of it being sort of enclosed, like space for echoes, and you can see the shape of the falls, how it's got the walls are facing each other there. This page here is where we dump random words that might be caught up in our system, and you can see here I wrote waterfall and Mississippi Rapids. These were the kind of things that were kind of like in my head at the time. My stage 3 is putting together all that prior information that I had on one page, and this is what I got. You know what I mean? Land, water, structure, and mushy, wet vegetation, mist, wet surfaces. So looking at the land one, this was my initial visual. And let me just see if we can pull up some images here. Yeah. So I got a sense of, I wrote like a cliffside ridge, bordering land, vegetation, very steep. Vegetation, natural, I wrote. It's like reserved territory. And I wrote here, these are these small little bits of data that start creeping in that eventually tie the target together and give it its unique flavor. I wrote here, a slight smell of moisture in the air, and I wrote world wonder, right? So it's like I'm getting the sense that this is like a world wonder type thing here. Unique, I wrote. So yeah, that was interesting. You can see some pictures here, how steep the land is there on the sides, the vegetation bordering. Moving on in my session, I had a sense of the water. Now let me switch this view here. Yeah. So here I wrote bird sounds, nature reserve feel, downpour downstream of liquid, trails down, gets caught on surfaces and creates mist. It feels pristine. It's whooshing and gushing. I wrote heat stream. I wrote not a hot spring. Reminds me of something like that. And you can see here, I zoom in on some of this stuff. You can see the water pouring down, hitting off the surfaces, just like in my drawing here. And the sense of the hot stream, the hot spring, is like all this mist that's building up. You know what I mean? Streams of hot water and mist. So that was a really clear visual there that I got. Moving on to the structure 1. This was something man-made that I got there, and initially I was like, what's that about? But looking at the feedback now, you can see here there are these linear man-made structures at the target, and if I switch over to the Google Earth view here, I can hop on here, and there's quite a few of them surrounding this area. I'm going to zoom in and kind of find some here. This is one of the main ones here. We'll be taking a look at this, comparing it to one of the drawings I did on my video session, which is some new data that I didn't get in my paper session. So yeah, there is wooden structures here, these linear wooden pathways, and there's some pictures I got of it here. I'll jump over here. Yeah, you can see here, you know, there's people standing on these structures. I got a sense of man-made, a reroute, a pathway, right? And here I got, this is just, you know, going for more visuals, edging and stuff like that. I got a hiss, a sight to behold. It felt majestic. I wrote, a far view of a large structure with mist and fog near the base. Reminds me of a waterfall. That's what I wrote there. And again, more impressions of water bursting out and pouring. And then I wrote here, Valley Gorge. And I'll hop over to the Google Earth view. And you can see here, found a nice perspective, very similar to this. Just, you know, this cut through where this water is running. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, right here you can see like a valley gorge, what I've drawn here. So yeah, that was my paper session. Now, I handed that in, get my face back up here. So I handed that session in, and Nico told me to continue work, if I would like to, on the natural and the water aspects of the target. And so I did a video session, and the link for that will be in the description. I don't want to play this whole, I'm not going to play the whole video, but I'll go to a couple of screenshots here so that you can check out some of the things that I got. One of the interesting ones was the structure that I saw, and this is when I was looking at the land, and I didn't get this in my paper session. Well, I got aspects of it, but I really honed in on it in the video session for the first time. So when you see that video, that's the first time I'm seeing that data. And that looks like a little bit, let me get this screenshot going. Here we go. So you can see here, there's this walkway where people can gather together and watch, and the waterfall kind of runs underneath it. So you can stand on it while the water runs underneath your feet. And I'll put they got here we got the street view. So you can see here, you're literally standing on the edge of this waterfall, and the water's running underneath your feet here. So I thought that was really interesting. You can see the shape. Let me turn this around. The shape of this structure here and my drawing. You can see the correlation between those two. So you can see the similarities there in the shape. And I had a sense of pooling. Water was pooling here, vegetation bordering the sides, so you can see the vegetation on the sides, the linear aspect coming from underneath that bordering walkway. So that was an interesting, very interesting hit. That was an interesting hit there, and I didn't really notice that until more deeply looking into the session work. So it's important to really analyze your data and see what you're dealing with in terms of feedback. I got a better look at these rocks, the bordering, how the water borders over and spills over the edge of the waterfalls here, kind of like this view, these kind of looks. And at the very end of my session, I did some edging. Some people were asking about edging. Well, you can watch this session and you can see me do it on the video there. And I got a very clear visual of water pooling up, and then spilling out of certain areas, kind of like this in this image here. Water spilling out and through certain areas while being held back by others. downpour, very similar to this image here. If you're interested in remote viewing and intuition and want to learn more, check out my website, www.thefeedbackloop.info. The link will be in the description below. So hopefully that was interesting, going over that data, showing the correlations between the paper sessions and how it builds up, and how doing further work on a target brings out more and more data, you know what I mean? Allowing the viewer to kind of explore and expand on the target site. So hopefully that was interesting. Thanks for watching, y'all. One love.